Welcome back to your English listening practice. Learning English is a fantastic journey, and every time you practice, you get better. Have you ever felt a little shy or maybe not so confident when meeting someone new? Like you wished you knew exactly what to say to make a great impression and connect easily? What if I told you that becoming amazing at talking to anyone isn't a magic gift, but something you can learn step by step? We're going to dive into some powerful ideas from the famous book How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes. This book gives you simple, practical tips to feel more comfortable and build strong connections with people. Curious about how to unlock these social secrets? Then keep listening.
Chapter 1. Welcome to Better Talking. Have you ever thought about how much better life could be if talking felt easy? Think about it for a moment. Almost everything we do in life involves talking in some way. At work, you need to talk to your boss or your colleagues to get things done and share your ideas. When you want to make new friends or meet someone special, talking is the main way you connect. Even simple things like asking for help or buying something often require you to talk to another person. When you are good at talking, it helps you in so many situations. You can explain what you mean clearly so there are fewer misunderstandings. You can make people feel comfortable and interested when they are talking to you. This can help you get a better job or a promotion at work. It can help you make stronger friendships and build better relationships with your family. It can make you feel more confident when you are in new places or meeting new people. Talking well is like having a key that opens many doors in life. It helps you succeed and feel happier. Maybe you think that some people are just naturally born good talkers, like it's a special gift. They always seem to know the right thing to say at the right time, and people listen to them. But the truth is, being good at talking is not something you are just born with. It's actually a skill, just like riding a bicycle, playing a musical instrument, or learning to cook. Nobody is perfect at those things the first time they try, right? You learn the basic steps, you practice, and slowly you get better and better. Talking is exactly the same. It's a skill you can learn and improve with practice. So the first important part of this journey, this chapter called Welcome to Better Talking, is all about understanding why this skill is so powerful. It shows you clearly how improving the way you talk can really change your life for the better in many different areas. It's like looking at a map before you start a trip. It shows you the exciting places you can go and why the journey is worth taking. It explains that talking is not just about making noise or saying words. It is a very useful tool that you already have, and you can make it much sharper and more effective. This first chapter also gives you an exciting look at what comes next. It lets you know that the rest of the book isn't just going to tell you why talking is important, but it's going to teach you how to do it. It will share simple, practical methods and techniques that you can learn and use right away to become a better talker. You'll discover easy ways to start conversations with anyone, how to make people like you quickly, how to listen so that others feel understood, how to use your body to help you communicate, and many other smart ideas. It breaks down the whole big skill of talking into smaller, easy steps that anyone can follow and practice. Investing your time in learning these talking skills is one of the best things you can do for yourself. It truly helps you in your career, your friendships, your romantic life, and helps you feel more comfortable and strong every single day. This first chapter is like a warm welcome that shows you all the amazing possibilities that are waiting for you when you decide to learn how to talk better, and gives you a clear idea of the useful things you are going to learn in the pages that follow.
Chapter 2. Your first look matters. Have you ever met someone for the very first time and just felt a good connection right away? That feeling often comes from how you first look at someone, even before you say a word. It's true, your very first look matters a lot because people form opinions about you incredibly fast. Think about it. In just a few seconds, someone decides if they like you, if they trust you, or if they want to know more. Luckily, you can learn to make this first moment work for you, using some simple techniques with your eyes, your smile, and your body. One of the most powerful tools you have is your eyes. When you meet someone new, it's easy to feel a little shy and look away quickly, but try not to do that. Instead, imagine you have sticky eyes, like warm toffee. Keep your eyes on theirs for just a moment longer than feels normal, maybe for 3 to 4 seconds, and let your eyes show that you are genuinely interested in them. It shows confidence and respect. It tells the other person, "I see you, and you are important." When you do this, it makes the other person feel valued and much more comfortable with you right from the start. Another crucial part of your first look is your smile, but not just any smile. A quick, forced smile can sometimes look fake. The trick is to let your smile grow slowly. Imagine you are getting a warm feeling inside, and let that feeling slowly reach your eyes and then your mouth. Let your smile appear gradually, like the sun coming out. When your smile arrives, hold it for a moment while you are looking at them. This kind of slow, warm smile feels much more real and personal. It makes the other person feel like your smile is just for them, which is very inviting and makes them feel good about meeting you. So, combine the sticky eyes with the slow smile, look at them, hold their gaze for a moment longer, and let that warm smile bloom on your face. Finally, your body language speaks loudly too, even if you're not saying anything yet. Think about how you are standing or sitting. Do you look closed off, maybe with your arms crossed, or do you look open and ready to connect? Try to stand or sit in a way that looks relaxed and open. Keep your arms uncrossed. Turn your body slightly towards the person you are meeting. This small action shows that you are focusing on them and you are open to talking. It makes you look approachable and friendly. Imagine meeting two people at a party. One is standing with arms crossed, looking around the room quickly, giving a fast little smile if you catch their eye. The other person turns towards you, looks you in the eye for a few seconds with a warm, slow smile, and stands with their hands at their sides. Who do you think you would feel more comfortable talking to? It's usually the second person, right? Because their first look and body language sent a message that they were friendly and interested in you. By paying attention to these simple things, using your eyes to show interest, letting a warm smile grow slowly, and keeping your body open, you can make a powerful and positive first impression that makes people want to talk to you and get to know you better. These small changes can make a big difference in how others see you and how easily you connect with new people. Chapter 3. Starting a chat easily. Do you ever feel a little shy or maybe unsure about how to start talking to someone you don't know? It happens to many people. Walking up to someone new and saying the first words can feel a bit difficult, right? And then what do you talk about after you say hello? Well, this chapter is all about making that first step easy. It gives you simple, practical ideas to help you feel more comfortable when you want to talk to someone for the first time. It's like having a little guide to starting friendly chats without feeling awkward. The chapter teaches you that you don't need to be a natural talker or have special skills. Often, the easiest way to start is by using what is around you. Look at the situation you are in. Are you at an event? Maybe you can say something about the event. Are you waiting somewhere? You can comment on the wait. The ideas are simple, and use the environment you are in to give you a natural way to open the conversation. For example, if you are standing in line for something, you could say something easy like, "Wow, this line is long today." Or if you're at a park and see something interesting, you could comment on that. These are not big, complicated sentences, just simple observations. The chapter shows you how to notice these little things and use them as your opening line. It also helps you think about how to find something to talk about after those first words. It suggests listening carefully to the other person's reply and asking simple questions that show you are interested. It's not about asking difficult questions, but more like, "Oh, really? How was it?" Or, "That's interesting. Can you tell me more?" This makes the conversation flow naturally. The main idea is to take the pressure off. Starting a chat doesn't need a perfect plan. It just needs you to be willing to say a few words and be open to a friendly chat. The chapter gives you the tools to feel ready to do that. It helps you see that finding things to talk about isn't magic. It often comes from listening and being curious about the other person and the situation you share. By following these easy steps, you can start feeling much more confident about talking to new people in different situations. It's about making connection simple and less scary. Chapter 4. Be a great listener. Have you ever talked to someone and felt like they weren't really listening to you? Maybe they were looking around or checking their phone or just waiting for you to finish so they could talk. How did that make you feel? Not very good, right? This is why being a great listener is so important when you want to connect with people. It's not just about hearing the sounds they make, it's about making them feel that you truly understand what they are saying and how they are feeling. When you are a great listener, people feel valued. They feel that their thoughts and feelings are important to you. This makes them trust you more and feel more comfortable talking to you. Think about it. Who do you prefer to talk to when you have something important to share? Probably someone who seems to listen with their whole self. So, how can you become this kind of listener? One key thing is to give people your full attention. This means turning your body towards them, making eye contact, and really focusing on their words. Put your phone away. Don't look at other things happening around you. Show with your body language that you are there with them in that moment. Nod your head sometimes to show you are following. Use small words like yes, or I see. These simple actions tell the other person, I am listening to you. But it's not just about looking like you're listening. You also need to show that you are understanding. One way to do this is by sometimes repeating what they said, but using your own words. For example, if they say, I had a really difficult day at work, everything went wrong, you could say, oh, it sounds like your day was very tough and nothing worked out. This shows you heard them and are trying to understand their experience. This is called reflecting or paraphrasing. Another important part of making someone feel understood is to listen to their feelings, not just their words. People often share how they feel when they talk. If they say, I was so angry when that happened, don't just nod. You could say, wow, you must have felt really angry. Acknowledging their emotion directly shows that you are listening on a deeper level. It shows empathy, which is like understanding and sharing someone else's feelings. Sometimes you might need to ask questions, but be careful not to interrupt too much or ask questions that change the subject. Ask questions that help you understand more about what they are telling you. Questions like, can you tell me more about that? Or what happened next? Show that you are interested and want to hear the complete story. This encourages the person to share more and feel that you are invested in their experience. This is called reflecting or paraphrasing. Another important part of making someone feel understood is to listen to their feelings, not just their words. People often share how they feel when they talk. If they say, I was so angry when that happened, don't just nod. You could say, wow, you must have felt really angry. Acknowledging their emotion directly shows that you are listening on a deeper level. It shows empathy, which is like understanding and sharing someone else's feelings. Sometimes you might need to ask questions, but be careful not to interrupt too much or ask questions that change the subject. Ask questions that help you understand more about what they are telling you. Questions like, can you tell me more about that? Or what happened next? Show that you are interested and want to hear the complete story. This encourages the person to share more and feel that you are invested in their experience. Imagine your friend is telling you about a problem. If you just stare blankly or immediately offer advice without fully listening, they might feel dismissed. But if you look at them, nod, say things like, that sounds difficult, ask a clarifying question, and show you understand their feelings, your friend will feel heard and supported. They will feel that you get it. This feeling of being understood is very powerful in building strong connections. It makes people feel safe and comfortable sharing with you again in the future. So, practice these simple ways to listen, and you'll find people feel much better talking to you.
Chapter 5. Keep the conversation going. How do you feel when a conversation just stops, or when it gets a little bit quiet and nobody knows what to say next? It happens to everyone, right? Sometimes it feels hard to keep talking and make the chat interesting for everyone involved. Well, this is all about learning simple ways to keep the conversation going smoothly and enjoyably. The main idea is that you don't need to be super clever or tell amazing stories all the time. Often, the best way to keep talking is by using simple questions and showing real interest in the other person. Think about the questions you ask. If you ask, was your weekend good? The answer might just be yes or no, it wasn't bad. This doesn't give much to build on. But if you ask something like, what was the best part of your weekend? Or did you do anything fun on your weekend? These questions invite a longer answer. They open up the conversation because the person has to think a little and share more details. These are called open questions. Listening is super important too. When someone answers your question, listen carefully to what they say. They might mention something that you can ask about next. For example, if they say, "I went hiking on Saturday," instead of just saying, "Oh, nice," you can ask, "Oh, hiking? Where did you go?" Or, "Was the weather good for hiking?" This shows you were listening and are interested in their experience. It's like building a bridge from what they said to your next question. Besides asking questions, you can also share a little bit about yourself that relates to what they said. If they talk about a movie they saw, you could say, "Oh, I saw that one too. What did you think of the ending?" Or, "I've wanted to see that. Is it worth watching?" Sharing your own connection or thought helps make it a two-way street. Another good way to keep things interesting is to find common ground. What do you and the other person both know about or like? Maybe you both like the same sport, or you've both been to the same place. Talking about shared interests is easy and makes you both feel more comfortable. You can also talk about general things that most people have opinions on, like types of food, travel ideas, or hobbies. Sometimes you might need to gently change the subject. If the topic you're talking about is finished, you can link it to something new. For example, if you were talking about food, you might say, "Talking about dinner makes me think, are you planning any holidays soon?" This connects the idea of planning, dinner, to planning holiday, and moves to a new topic naturally. The goal is to make the other person feel heard and comfortable sharing with you. When you show genuine interest and give them space to talk, they will usually enjoy the conversation more, and it will keep going naturally. It's about making the talk enjoyable for everyone, not just about showing how well you can talk. Use simple questions, listen well, share a little, and look for things you have in common. This makes talking easy and fun.
Chapter 6. Share your story. Just enough. Do you sometimes feel like people get bored when you talk about yourself? It's a common worry. Talking about yourself is important for building connections. People need to know things about you to feel close or understand who you are. But if you talk too much or share every small detail, you might see their eyes start to glaze over. The secret is finding the right balance. This is about sharing your story, but just enough. Think of it like adding salt to food. A little bit makes it taste good, but too much ruins it. You want to give people a taste of who you are, not make them eat the whole meal in one go. So what does just enough mean? It means sharing interesting parts of your life, your thoughts, your feelings, or your experiences. It's not about telling everything from start to finish. It's about picking out the highlights, the funny parts, the things that are maybe a little surprising, or things that the other person might be able to understand or relate to. It's also important to keep it relatively brief. When you share something about yourself, try to get to the main point quickly. People don't usually need to know every single step you took to get somewhere or every single conversation you had along the way. They need the main idea, the feeling, or the most interesting moment. Another important part of sharing just enough is remembering that conversation is like a tennis game. You hit the ball, share something about yourself, and then you wait for the other person to hit it back, respond, or share something about themselves. You don't just keep hitting the ball and never let the other person play. After you share a short, interesting piece of your story, it's a great time to stop and ask a question. Ask them what they think, or if they have a similar experience, or just change the topic to something about them. For example, imagine you want to talk about a trip you took. Talking too much would be telling them about waking up early, going to the airport, the traffic, checking your bags, the gate number, the delay, the plane food, landing, getting a taxi, checking into the hotel, and on and on. That's too much detail. Sharing just enough could be saying, "I went on a trip last month. We visited some really beautiful old castles, and there was one funny problem with our hotel booking when we arrived. It was a bit of an adventure to fix it, but it worked out well. Have you traveled anywhere interesting lately?" You share the main exciting thing, castles, mention a brief, slightly interesting problem, hotel adventure, and then immediately invite them into the conversation by asking about their travels. The goal is to share yourself in a way that makes people curious and want to talk more with you, not shut down because they feel overwhelmed or bored. By sharing interesting bits and asking questions, you keep the conversation flowing and give others a chance to share too. It makes connecting much easier and more enjoyable.
Chapter 7. People will like talking to you. Have you ever met someone and felt like talking to them was just easy and nice? Like they were friendly, interesting, and you wanted to keep the conversation going? This chapter is all about how you can be that person, someone people genuinely enjoy talking to and spending time with. It starts with looking approachable. Think about it. Would you walk up to someone who looks bored or angry? Probably not. So the first step is simple but powerful. Smile. A real smile shows you're happy to be there and happy to connect. Also, make eye contact. This shows you are paying attention and are interested in the other person. It makes them feel seen and important. Looking friendly and open is like putting out a welcome sign for conversation. Being easy to talk to is another big part. This means not just talking at people, but talking with them. A key skill here is listening. Really listen when the other person is speaking. Don't just think about what you're going to say next. Show that you understand by nodding or saying yes or I see. Ask questions about what they are talking about. This shows you are interested in them and what they have to say. People love it when you show interest in their lives and thoughts. It makes the conversation flow much better and feel comfortable. And what about being interesting? This isn't about knowing everything or telling super exciting stories all the time. It's partly about being curious yourself. When you're curious about others, you'll ask good questions, and that makes the conversation more interesting for everyone. It's also about sharing a little bit of yourself in a light, positive way. Maybe a small, funny thing that happened to you, or something interesting you learned recently. You don't need to perform or be dramatic. Just be open to sharing and connecting. The main idea is a combination of things. It's about having positive body language, like smiling and making eye contact, so you seem friendly right away. It's about being a good listener and showing genuine interest in the other person, which makes you easy to talk to. And it's about being willing to share a little about yourself and being curious about the world and others, which makes you seem more interesting. When you put these things together, you create a feeling of warmth and connection that makes people feel good when they are talking to you. They will naturally want to talk to you more. It takes a little practice, but these simple changes can make a big difference in how easily you connect with people. Chapter 8. Talking when it's difficult. Have you ever had to talk about something really difficult, or maybe talk to someone who just isn't easy to communicate with? We all have times when talking feels tough. Maybe you need to share some bad news, or talk about a problem, or just communicate with someone who always seems to misunderstand you. It can feel stressful and make you want to avoid the conversation completely. This part of the book is all about helping you when talking gets tough. It gives you practical ideas and tips for navigating these difficult conversations, whether the difficulty comes from the topic itself or the person you are talking to. It understands that not all talks are easy chats about the weather or your day. Sometimes you have to discuss serious things, ask for something important, or deal with conflict. The chapter teaches you how to prepare mentally for these kinds of talks. It helps you think about what you want to say and the best way to say it so you are understood clearly. It's not about being tricky, but about being effective and respectful, even when the situation is charged. It also gives advice on how to stay calm and manage your own feelings, even if the conversation becomes emotional or the other person reacts in a way you didn't expect. You learn about the importance of listening carefully, even if you don't like what you hear, because understanding the other person's point of view, even a little, can help you find a better way to communicate. And it gives you strategies for choosing your words carefully and handling different reactions from the other person, like if they get defensive or angry. For example, imagine you need to talk to a friend about something that has been bothering you in your friendship. You might be worried they will get upset or think you are blaming them. This chapter gives you tools to think about the best time and place to talk, how to start the conversation in a non-threatening way, and how to express your feelings or concerns clearly without making the other person feel attacked. It might teach you to focus on the issue or your own feelings using I statements, like, I feel worried when, instead of using you statements that sound like accusations.
Overall, the goal is to give you the confidence and the right words to handle conversations you might naturally want to avoid. By learning these techniques, you can communicate more effectively, reduce conflict, and build stronger relationships, even when you are dealing with sensitive topics or challenging personalities. It helps you get through those moments when talking feels like walking on eggshells.
Chapter 9. Chatting in a group. Do you ever see a group of people talking, maybe at a party or a meeting, and feel a bit nervous about joining them? It can feel difficult to just walk up and start talking when others are already in the middle of a conversation. Sometimes it feels like everyone knows each other or is talking about something you don't understand. This can make you feel uncomfortable or like you don't know how to enter the group smoothly. But don't worry, there are simple ways to join a conversation like this and feel comfortable right away. The first step is often to just watch and listen for a moment. Don't rush in and try to speak immediately. Stand nearby and pay attention to what the people are talking about. Listen to their voices, their body language, and the topic. This helps you understand the mood of the conversation and what they are discussing. It's like testing the water before you jump in. While you listen, you can offer a friendly look or a small smile to the people in the group if they look in your direction. This shows you are friendly and interested. After listening for a little while, look for a good moment to join. This usually means waiting for a small pause in the talking or when someone finishes speaking. Don't interrupt someone who is still talking. When you see a small gap, you can step closer and quietly enter the group. You don't need to say something very important or funny right away. A simple way to start is to add a small comment or question that relates to what they were just talking about. For example, if they were talking about a recent movie you saw, you could wait for a pause and say something like, "Oh, I heard that movie was really good," or "I saw that movie too. What did you think of?" an actor or part of the movie? This shows you are listening and are interested in their topic. Once you are in the conversation, try to make eye contact with different people in the group when you speak, not just one person. This makes everyone feel included. Listen actively when others talk. This means paying attention, nodding, or giving small responses like, "Ah, I see," or "That's interesting." You don't need to talk all the time. Sometimes just listening and showing you are interested is enough to feel part of the group. If the topic changes, try to follow along. If you don't understand something, it's okay to ask a simple question like, "Excuse me, could you explain what you mean by that?" Or, "What were you just saying about?" People usually like to explain things. Remember, the goal is to join naturally and feel comfortable. It's not about being the loudest or the most important person. It's about becoming part of the flow. Think of it like joining a dance. You watch the steps first, find the rhythm, and then slowly join in. It takes a little practice, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it will feel. Soon, joining group conversations will feel much more comfortable and less scary. Just observe, find your moment, and add your voice to the mix.
Chapter 10. Saying goodbye nicely. Do you ever feel a little awkward when you want to finish a conversation? Maybe you just want to walk away, but you know that's not polite. Learning how to leave a chat smoothly is actually a really useful skill. It helps you move on when you need to, but more importantly, it leaves the other person feeling good about the talk you just had. Think about it. You could have a wonderful conversation with someone, full of interesting ideas and laughter, but if the ending is sudden or strange, it can spoil the good feeling a little. People often remember how something ends, so a good goodbye is important for leaving a positive last impression. It shows respect and helps build good relationships. Nobody likes feeling like someone just stopped listening and ran away. The main idea here is that you shouldn't just disappear. You need to give a signal that you're getting ready to leave. This prepares the other person and avoids any awkward silence or confusion. It's like giving them a heads up. You guide the conversation towards its end gently, instead of just hitting an abrupt stop button. So, how can you do this nicely? One way is to express that you enjoyed talking to them. Simple phrases like, "It was really great talking with you," or "I'm so glad we had this chat. Work well." This confirms that you valued the conversation and the person's time. It's a warm way to start the closing process. Another important part is giving a reason, even a short one, for needing to leave. You don't need a long, detailed excuse. Something simple and clear is enough.
For example, you could say, I see someone I need to quickly speak to over there, or I need to catch up with my friends before they leave, or even just, I should probably get going now. This tells the person why you're ending the conversation, so they don't think you're leaving because you don't like them. Sometimes it's also good to add a little hint about the future, if it feels natural. You could say, let's talk more about this another time, or I hope to see you again soon. This keeps the door open for future interaction and makes the goodbye feel less final and more positive. Putting it all together, imagine you are talking to someone at a party. You've been chatting for a while and you want to go get a drink or talk to someone else. Instead of just looking around and walking away, you could smile and say, wow, that was a really interesting point you made about the new movie. It was great talking with you. I'm just going to grab a drink, but maybe we can continue this later. See how that feels different? You showed you listened, interesting point. You expressed pleasure, great talking. You gave a simple reason, grab a drink, and you hinted at talking again. Continue this later. The other person feels heard, valued, and you leave smoothly. The key is to make the other person feel good about the interaction right up to the end. A sincere compliment related to the conversation, expressing how much you learned, or just reiterating how much you enjoyed their company can make a big difference. Ending a conversation well is not just about you leaving. It's about leaving the other person with a positive memory of you and your chat. It makes you seem polite, confident, and easy to talk to, even when the talking is finished.